Hello everybody, welcome to UKPM Survival and Outdoors here on YouTube, and in this latest UKPrepperman video we're going to be talking about meds. Stay tuned. So here we are, another cold December day, and this time of year, especially when winter comes in, it's when the coughs and the colds come in with it. So, you know, prevention is better than cure, and in this video I'm just going to show you some of the things that we have to effectively prevent health problems. Okay, now before we go any further, obviously this is, you know, really specific to ourselves, and you know, different people will have different allergies, maybe not able to take certain medication. So, you know, please don't take this as medical advice. You know, this is just how we prepare for winter colds, coughs, and generally this stuff we have all year round. Okay, now as you've probably seen before in the videos, I am asthmatic. Okay, I suffer with asthma. I've suffered with it for a number of years, so I take a daily inhaler, and I have a brown inhaler I take every day, morning and night, and then I carry a blue inhaler as well. Now, because of that, there's certain things that I can't take, and it might be the same for you. So it's worthwhile checking and making sure that any medication you have is, you know, suitable for your own use. Okay, and I say in terms of medication, we keep multiples of medication. There's nothing worse, I think, than we go to grab something, find it's ran out, or there's very little of it, go down to the shops in the rain and the cold to find that they haven't got any either, and that is really, you know, that is worst case scenario. Then you have the whole, you know, stocks and shelves emptying because of one reason and another, which you know, I've touched on in previous videos. So yes, we do keep multiples, and you know, we keep multiples of medication. So in the cupboard we've got a nice sturdy plastic box. It's marked up clearly with meds on, so we know what it is, but to be fair you can see, but it just indicates. So we keep things in the same place. Okay, there's nothing worse than scattering things about and not knowing where things are. And just on the side of it, one of the first aid kits. Now I've lost count of how many first aid kits we've got. I've got one in each bag. I've got one in the car, I've got one here, and I think we've got another one upstairs. And so, you know, I don't think you can ever have too many, and it's just making sure that stuff stays within its use by date. Very, very important not to keep stuff, you know, if it's gone out of date. And in here, I'm not going to get it all out, but typical first aid items: plasters, bandages, dressings, micropure tape, some antiseptic cream, and you know, so on and so forth. So that lives there, so you know where it is. Now at the top here I keep backups of my medication. Now because I have a repeat prescription, obviously there's a little bit of an overspill of meds, so I keep this here, and I always mark it in permanent marker just on the base here, so I've got it and I know when it's going to go out of date, because the last thing you want is yeah, things going out of date, hanging on to stuff. Okay, but I'll rotate those into my normal use. All right, but it's always good to have a backup of personal medication. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this box down, we'll put it out on the table, and we'll show you what's in it. Okay, so straight off we've got cold and flu relief powders. Now this one isn't your typical brand that you see advertised and heavily promoted this time of year. It is a supermarket brand, and you can buy this exclusively in certain supermarkets in the UK. Reason why I don't buy the branded ones, you know, long and short of it is they cost more money and they do the same thing in my opinion. The ingredients are, you know, it's paracetamol based, and that's the same, you know, across the board. Some of the active ingredients, there might be you know, a variation according to brands, but they all really do the same sort of thing. And I've been using this particular brand, or non-brand, whichever way you like to use, you know, rephrase it, and I've had no issues at all. So just put it in hot water, and you know, if you're feeling a bit run down, it'll perk you back up again. You also have some of the cold and flu capsules as well, and again, you know, you can just swallow these and they do the same sort of thing. They've got the decongestant in as well, because we all feel a bit sniffly, you know, when the cold weather comes in, going hot to cold all the time. But it's worth noting that because they've got paracetamol in both of these, you want to be a bit careful how much you're actually taking, because you know, you can actually end up taking too much even across different products, you know, to state the obvious. But just with the non-brands, or the own brands so to speak, the same with these throat lozenges. We've got a load of these as well, and you know, these are antiseptic, they've got local anaesthetic in there, so you know, if you've got a sore throat, this will you know, put you back on your feet again. And again, the expiry date noted at the top there in permanent marker, and again on the side, just so that you know, if it falls over in the box, you know, at a glance we can see when the date is it has to be used by. There's some black currant ones there as well. Asthma medication, marked up with a permanent marker, and I normally use one of these preventers about once a month, maybe just a little bit under or a bit over, depending on how much. They say it should last around about a month, but it depends how much you use, I suppose. The date on there, I will use this one before one with obviously a later date, and I've got spare ones in there as well. Anti-diarrhea, that's got to be used by the end of December 2019, so this month. Obviously we use that one before we use this one. That one's November 2020 it's got to be used by, so using things in order and making sure that stuff isn't out of date. Antiseptic cream, no issues with this. I use this if you get a cut or anything like that, and again this is in my first aid kit, and it's in all the bags and rucksacks as well, because if you get a cut or anything, especially if you're in the woods, last thing you want to do is get it infected. So use the antiseptic cream, and it does what it says on the packet. Bite and sting relief, might not get bitten or stung in the winter, certainly by there's not that many insects about, but have some in there just in case. It doesn't take up any space. And obviously we have obviously a child, so we have some what they call oral suspension, which is effectively a branded version of a typical medication that you will give to a young child, and it does what it says on there: aches, pains, and it's from 3 months plus. So you make sure you get the one that's suitable for your own children. And again, date marked on the top. And while we're there with traditionals, TCP. Whether or not there's a sore throat or cuts, grazes, even spots, you can use TCP. Very, very good. This one we virtually ran out of, so we have a spare one here in the back, and we do have more in the store. So this is very, very good to always keep some of that in the box. Got some pain relief as well. Paracetamol, great for headaches. We got some ibuprofen, which you can use as a pain relief. It's also, I think, suitable if you say sprained your ankle. I'm not sure if it's sort of directly anti-inflammatory, but possibly more suitable. Okay, I've got to be a bit careful taking this because of being asthmatic. Though admittedly, I've not had any issues when I have taken it, so it is what it is. And then we have some dispersible aspirin here, and I always try and buy the dispersible aspirin for the simple reason: one, if you have a sore throat, if you put one of these aspirins into water, being dispersible, it means it will dissolve. If you then gargle, then that is really, really good for a sore throat. Okay. Also, if somebody's having a heart attack, if you give them an aspirin, it can provide the difference between life or death. Okay, so but you have to be careful because it thins the blood. If you are not supposed to have this, you don't take it under any circumstances. Again, it does state it on the back here. You know basically whether or not you can take aspirin or not. All right. We do keep some plasters as well as the ones in the first aid kit. I do generally tend to buy the water resistant or waterproof strong plasters rather than the cheap ones. What you do find is that cheap ones like this, where you get sort of a pack of 100, you will probably use the more than one. It'll fall off, and then you can put one of these on there, and it'll actually last longer. So these are good if you've got a spare space and you just want to get sort of value for money maybe. But I don't think it's much value for money if you've got to replace them more often, if you see what I mean. So get the waterproof ones. They'll last a little bit longer, especially if you're outdoors. And then the rest of it in there, we've got some more painkillers. We've got some more diarrhea relief capsules there as well. And I say, it's always a good idea. Now, some of this is kept in my bag, so I generally keep some of those. I keep some flu powders, some throat sweets, or antiseptic lozenges, you should say. They're not sweets, they're medication. But I always keep some of that with me wherever I go, and then you know you got it. But it's a good idea, as I say, to have a box full of these basics, and there's not a massive amount of stuff in here as well. You know, you haven't got, it's having that right amount of quantity between what you actually need and, you know, what you think you need. Okay, so that's that put away, and hopefully we won't need it anytime soon. But it's worth remembering this. It's important to make sure that you have the right medication in the right quantities, and then you don't get the coughs and colds, and if you do, you can get yourself better still. Okay, so with that in mind, if you've enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe, and any comments, love to hear them. Until next time, thanks for watching, bye for now.